Today is November 7, 2022. My name is Rob Carr of Kalamazoo Right to Life, and this is Pro-Life Week. Well, a few things today. First, I'm sure you've heard by now that Herschel Walker, the GOP candidate for the Senate seat in Georgia, was defeated last night by about 1 or 2 percentage points to the incumbent Raphael Warnock, the pro-abortion minister from Atlanta. And, I'm sure there's a lot of blame to go around. I know he was supported, Walker was supported by Trump. And I do kind of feel that the Trump brand has been tarnished of late. And some of the things that the former president has said recently have not helped. I mean, let's just face it. Donald Trump is his own worst enemy in many regards. But that's another issue. But Walker has been defeated. I think he was a weak candidate, perhaps the weakest of all the Republican candidates in the midterm elections. And he was pro-life, I'll give him that, and it was a close race. But I think a better, more articulate candidate could have beaten Warnock. And I do blame some of the Republican leadership for not supporting him, and for perhaps the Georgia voters for not embracing Walker, who was the conservative pro-life vote. So the Democrats now have 51 senators, and the Republicans have 49. And because it's not 50-50 anymore, the Senate committees are no longer going to be evenly divided. I think I talked about that last time before in the Judiciary Committee. In the Judiciary Committee, you've got 22 members, 11 Democrats and 11 Republicans. Well, now it's going to be, it would probably be, in the 22 member, it would probably be 12 Democrats and 10 Republicans. It's just unfortunate that just that one loss does give the advantage in all the committees to the Democrat. So, we've got 2 years to lick our heels and or lick our wounds and get back on track, because the Republican Party took a thrashing. I feel they took a thrashing this midterms. And even though they took the House, it was only barely taken by the Republicans. They should have done far better with the bad economy and all the indicators going south with our economy and food prices and gas prices and crime and the southern border, all these issues. The Republicans just gained about 9 or 10 seats, which is pretty poor for a midterm election. Okay, so much for Georgia. Disappointing news in Georgia. Let's turn to the TV program The View. It's a program I do not watch. Trust me, I do not watch it. But they do seem to find their way into the news because of some of the things some of these ladies have said. Well, just a few days ago, they had, I guess it was on Monday, Sally Field, the actress, was on. And she was ranting and raving about the Dobbs decision. She said it was criminal, it was cruel, it was uncivilized. Oh, that's interesting. Killing babies is civilized, because giving that issue back to the states for the voters to decide, or their state legislatures to decide, is uncivilized. So it's civilized to kill babies in the womb. And then Sunny Hostin, who is another liberal member of The View, she, she's all over the map on some issues. And she claims that she's pro-life. Then she says, I'm pro-life because I'm a Catholic. And she said the Supreme Court should not be deciding the law based on their faith. It's that the majority of justices on the Supreme Court are Catholic. So she said they should not have decided Dobbs the way they did based on their faith. Well, I think she claims to be an attorney. Has she even read the Alito opinion in Dobbs? He's not talking about his Catholic faith, or he's not talking about religion or theology. He's talking about the law and about the history of abortion law, and that the Roe decision was created out of whole cloth. It was not based on anything judicial. It was created, it was fashioned by the justices in 1973. So, come on, Sonny, wise up. DOMS is not based on Catholic faith or Catholic dogma. It's based on the courts, this new court's interpretation of the law, not on Catholic dogma. Okay, so let's move on. I saw in the news today that there's a pro-life, pro-traditional marriage organization in Virginia called Family Foundation. And they were going to have a meal in a private dining room in a Richmond, Virginia restaurant. Well, the restaurant basically said to them that we are unwilling to serve you because we have LGBTQ XYZ employees and they feel unsafe with you in our restaurant eating our food. So they were denied service at this restaurant. And I got to thinking about denying food for different groups. Back in 1960, 4 black college students entered a Woolworth department store, and they have a lunch counter there. They did have lunch counters there, and they asked for coffee. And they were denied service because they were black. And they just sat there in like a sit-in. And that sit-in concept exploded all over the South, where dozens and dozens of Woolworths were being picketed by black students who were just sitting there, but they were being denied service. So I do find it interesting here. That's the Jim Crow South of 1960. Blacks were denied food service because of who they were, Black Americans. And here again, we're still in the South. 2022, an organization, Family Foundation, was denied service because of who they were, a pro-life organization. I find that quite interesting, kind of denying you the right to eat our food because of who you are. You could be black, you could be pro-life, but you will be denied service. Also, I saw in the news, and there was a lot of things today in the news that I wanted to comment on. Back in 2017, a Southwest Airlines stewardess who had been a 21-year career employee, well, she was fired by Southwest Airlines because she committed a crime. Well, what was her crime? She posted pro-life views on Facebook. Boom, you're gone. Apparently, she had had an abortion many years earlier and had been so shamed and guilt-ridden for what she had done until she kind of really found salvation or forgiveness through Christ. And she wanted to share that positive message about God's great forgiveness and her pro-life convictions, and she was fired. Well, back in July, a federal judge ruled in her favor and awarded her $5 million in monetary compensation. Well, just yesterday, another federal judge ruled in a different matter. The monetary award that was given back in July was reduced, but the judge demanded that Southwest Airlines rehire her with full benefits, full seniority, and full back pay. So this was a good win, but I guess I'm bringing up some of these cases because they deal with free speech. And I've got another one here. Back during the summer, right after the Dobbs decision, several pro-life or pro-pregnancy care centers were vandalized, firebombed, things like that after the Dobbs decision. And apparently, just 2 days ago, there was an announcement made that the FBI has not made one single arrest regarding 3 different pregnancy care centers that were firebombed. And what's amazing is that a group called Jane's Revenge has admitted to doing it. So you have the culprits. Well, the FBI has done absolutely nothing. No arrests at all, zero. Meanwhile, what does the FBI do in other areas? Or the Justice Department. The Justice Department has this new policy now where if you're a parent making waves at school board meetings, well, you could be investigated as being a domestic terrorist for demanding accountability by the school board regarding transgender books, critical race theory, the 1619 Project, things like that. That one father in Loudoun County, Virginia, his daughter had been raped by some guy in a dress, and the father was the guy that was arrested at the school board meeting because he wanted justice for his daughter. Well, he was the one arrested, not the kid that did the act of rape. The FBI has been, we just found this out just a few days ago through Elon Musk and his Twitter files, that the FBI was colluding with the Biden campaign to bury the Hunter Biden story regarding his shenanigans with the Ukrainian energy company and with his ties with the communist Chinese government. It just seems odd that the FBI, who's supposed to be on our side, is working for the other team, working with the Democrats. They're not supposed to be partisan. They're supposed to be working to solve crimes, not protecting Joe Biden. Because if that scandal had come out, it's very possible that several hundreds of thousands or perhaps millions of people who may have already voted for Biden in early voting, if they had known about this, they may have wanted to change their votes and not voted, or voted for Trump. Probably not voted. But if they hadn't voted for Biden, he might not have won the presidency. So, you have these situations where and we're seeing it more often, where if you are pro-life or pro-family, if you say something on Facebook or if you say something critical at a school board meeting in defense of a traditional family situation, you could be silenced. Well, the way I read the First Amendment, we are guaranteed the right of free speech. You cannot say fire in a crowded theater. Yes, you cannot say that because there are ramifications. There could be a stampede. There could be a rush to the exits, and people may be stampeded or trampled to death and killed. But in cases where people are not being killed, you have the right to say something that is uncomfortable for somebody else, whether it's a pro-life statement or a pro-abortion statement. You have the right to be controversial. You do. So I guess I'm going to let you go with that. Disappointing with the Herschel Walker defeat. The Republican Party, the pro-life movement, we just need to get better candidates who can really articulate the issues as well as defend the right to life of unborn children. With that, I'll let you go, and I will see you next time.